These kids came from the kids that I had challenge working with to the kids who were taking leadership responsibilities in tournaments, and leadership in its least glorious way. So I was IndyCore staff member from 2009, and I was working in Ahmedabad, India, and my project was Ahmedabad Ultimate. Ahmedabad Ultimate uses the sport of ultimate frisbee to give access to the kids who don't have access to organized sport. And while I was there, while I was working on Ahmedabad Ultimate, one of the things I did was I took a team of ultimate frisbee players to Bangalore for one of the tournaments. And these players were all 16 to 20-year-old kids from Ahmedabad Ultimate, all the kids from communities that Ahmedabad Ultimate volunteer coaches would go and coach them in. And while I was also one of the coaches to these kids, and while we were in Bangalore and on the journey there and back, I had a lot of challenges with these kids to keep them organized, to keep them in one place, keep them from pulling pranks on one another, keep them from making fun of one another, because they were all just kids, as they are. And so it was really challenging for me. And as I moved forward, in 2010 January, I was leading Ahmedabad Ultimate Open, which is a big national ultimate frisbee tournament, and we were hosting that in Ahmedabad. And if you are organizing an ultimate frisbee tournament in Ahmedabad, the challenge is that there will be so many things you need to do. There will be so many logistical tasks that you will need to take care of that you're going to miss some of these tasks. And I was sure that I missed some of the tasks. But during the tournament, no one actually complained to me about any of these tasks. No one asked me if we were where was the water. No one asked me that borders of the field were not as they were supposed to be. No one asked me where the frisbees were, because the frisbee that was on the field was damaged. And I was really surprised by that. But during the tournament, I did not have time to think about this. At the end of the tournament, I find myself wondering, how is it that when I didn't order enough water, that we had sufficient water for throughout the tournament? How is it that the borders were all in place as they were supposed to be? And on top of that, how is it that I was always with food? I was fed by someone when I didn't order any food. Someone always had food for me. And when I asked around, I found out that all these kids, same kids who used to pull pranks on one another, who would make fun of each other, are the same kids who took care of all of these logistics tasks before. They didn't even tell anyone, they didn't complain to anyone, but they just did it. They were ordering water on their own. They would coordinate with one another if they didn't know how to do it, and they would just take care of things. This was really, really amazing for me to see, because these kids came from the kids that I had challenge working with to the kids who were taking leadership responsibilities in tournaments, and leadership in its least glorious way. And I was really impressed by this. And I feel that this comes from the environment that Ahmedabad Ultimate created, where kids and coaches had relations and trust among one another, that they were able to do this. From the time when I was coaching these kids and the time that I spent with them, was that these kids were reciprocating, because they felt that they were also owners of these tasks, of this tournament, because their coach is organizing this tournament. And that was really great transformation in them to see. And I'm really glad to say that all of these kids have come from pulling the pranks to becoming tournament directors for all of these, for Ahmedabad Ultimate Open after that. And I'm glad to say that the next year in January will be two of the girls from the team, Dreamcatchers, will be tournament directors for Ahmedabad Ultimate Open.